Welcome back to Meghan and Harry Tales. Today, we dive into yet another fascinating tale of King Charles III's so-called dignity and resilience, a narrative so fragile it feels like it could shatter under the weight of reality. As we've seen time and time again, the storylines spun by the royal press are designed to distract and deflect from the glaring dysfunction within the House of Windsor. But what happens when we pull back the curtain? Let's explore. The year is 2024. The world has changed in many ways, yet some things remain constant. The British monarchy, with its centuries-old traditions and rituals, stands as a symbol of continuity amidst the ever-evolving landscape of modern society. Christmas approaches, a time for family and forgiveness. The streets of London are adorned with festive lights, and the air is filled with the scent of mulled wine and roasted chestnuts. Families gather to celebrate, to share stories and to mend old wounds. Yet a chill settles over the House of Windsor. The grandeur of Buckingham Palace and the historic walls of Windsor Castle seem to echo with unspoken tensions and unresolved conflicts. King Charles III remains silent, his relationship with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle frozen in time. The once close-knit family now finds itself divided, with wounds that seem too deep to heal. Their explosive interview with Oprah Winfrey, the bombshell release of Spare, all hang heavy in the air. The revelations and accusations have left an indelible mark on the royal family, casting a shadow over their public image. The world watches, captivated by this royal drama. Every move, every gesture is scrutinized, dissected, and debated by the media and the public alike. The fascination with the monarchy, with its blend of tradition and scandal, shows no signs of waning. Charles, we are told, maintains his silence for the sake of his reign. The weight of the crown demands a certain level of decorum, a restraint that is often at odds with the human desire to defend oneself. To speak out, to defend himself against Harry's accusations, would be undignified. The monarchy, after all, is built on the foundation of stoicism and resilience, qualities that have seen it through countless crises over the centuries. It would tarnish the crown. The image of the monarchy, meticulously crafted and maintained, is a delicate one. Any misstep, any sign of weakness, could have far-reaching consequences. So he absorbs the blows, the accusations, the hurt, all for the sake of duty. The role of a monarch is not just a position of power, but one of immense responsibility and sacrifice, or so the story goes. The narrative presented to the public is one of a dutiful king, bearing the weight of his crown with grace and dignity. But behind the facade of stoicism, a different narrative unfolds. Behind closed doors, away from the prying eyes of the public, the reality is far more complex. One of calculated decisions, controlled narratives, and a relentless pursuit of self-preservation. The inner workings of the palace reveal a world where every action is measured, every word carefully chosen. This is the story of King Charles's excuse factory, a carefully constructed machine designed to protect his image, even at the expense of his family. The palace operates like a well-oiled machine, with every cog and wheel working in unison to maintain the illusion of perfection. The burden of the crown is heavy, and the cost of maintaining its luster is high. As whispers echo through the palace halls, one can't help but wonder what the future holds for the House of Windsor. Will the cracks in the facade widen, or will the monarchy emerge stronger, more resilient than ever? Only time will tell. Charles's silence is presented as a burden he must bear. It is a heavy weight, one that he carries with a stoic expression, a mask of calm that hides the turmoil within. He is, after all, the king, a figurehead of a nation, a symbol of continuity and stability. His every move, every word is scrutinized by millions. He cannot be seen to engage in petty squabbles, especially not with his own son. The public expects him to rise above, to embody the dignity and grace of his position. To speak out would be to legitimize Harry's claims, to give them weight and credibility. It would be to acknowledge the rift, to admit that the royal family is not as united as it appears. It would be an unkingly display of emotion, a crack in the carefully crafted veneer of regal composure. The monarchy thrives on the perception of strength and unity. This silence, we are told, is a testament to his strength, his commitment to duty above all else. But is it really? Or is it a facade, a way to avoid confronting the painful truths? Is it truly a sign of strength to remain silent while your family is torn apart by public accusations and private pain? Or is it a sign of weakness, an inability to face the issues head-on? Or is it perhaps the easier path? Silence can be a refuge, a way to avoid the messiness of conflict and the vulnerability of open dialogue. Silence can be a powerful weapon. It can be used to maintain control, to keep the upper hand in a situation where words could be twisted and used against you. It allows accusations to fester, to take root in the public consciousness without challenge or rebuttal. The silence becomes a canvas on which others can paint their own narratives. It allows the accuser to control the narrative, to paint themselves as the victim and the other as the villain. In the court of public opinion, silence can be interpreted as guilt, as an admission of wrongdoing. Yet for Charles, breaking the silence could mean breaking the very foundation of the monarchy. It is a delicate balance, a tightrope walk between personal pain and public duty. The question remains, is this silence a noble sacrifice or a convenient escape? Only time will tell if Charles's unspoken burden will lead to healing or further division. Charles's reign has been defined by image management. From the carefully curated public appearances to the strategic leaks to favoured journalists, every move is calculated to present a specific narrative to the world. This is not a new phenomenon. Charles has been building this image for decades, long before he ascended the throne. Remember the breakdown of his marriage to Diana, Princess of Wales? The public relations battle that ensued? Charles and his team worked tirelessly to rehabilitate his image, to portray him as the wronged party, the victim of Diana's emotional instability, and to a large extent, they succeeded. But at what cost? Diana, stripped of her royal titles and ostracised by the family, was left to fend for herself against the relentless onslaught of the British tabloid press. The same press that Charles now uses to his advantage, drip-feeding them stories designed to garner sympathy and deflect criticism. The rift between Charles and Harry is not just a family matter. It is a complex and deeply rooted issue that has evolved over the years, marked by misunderstandings, unmet expectations, and emotional wounds that have yet to heal. It is a public spectacle, played out on the world stage. Every move, every word, and every gesture is scrutinized by the media and the public alike, turning private pain into a global conversation. And it is a spectacle that Charles seems content to manage rather than resolve. He appears to be more focused on maintaining the monarchy's image than addressing the underlying issues that have caused this rift. He doles out carefully worded statements through palace spokespeople, expressing his sadness, but never addressing the root of the problem. These statements often feel impersonal and detached, failing to convey the depth of the emotional turmoil within the family. He hides behind the institution, using his royal duties as a shield against accusations of emotional neglect. The demands of his role provide a convenient excuse to avoid confronting the painful realities of his relationship with Harry. He is too busy being king, we are told, to mend fences with his own son. The weight of the crown, the endless responsibilities, and the constant public scrutiny all serve as barriers to reconciliation. But is that truly the case, or is it a convenient narrative that allows him to sidestep the difficult conversations and emotional labour required to heal the rift? Or is it more convenient to prioritise his public image over his private relationships? The monarchy's survival depends on its public perception, and any sign of internal discord could be seen as a threat to its stability. The sad truth is that Charles is not alone in this. The history of the British royal family is filled with similar stories of strained relationships and emotional distance, often exacerbated by the pressures of their public roles. The institution of the monarchy thrives on image and control. It demands unwavering loyalty and punishes dissent, creating an environment where personal grievances are often suppressed for the sake of the greater good. It demands unwavering loyalty and punishes dissent. This culture of control, and conformity leaves little room for personal expression or emotional vulnerability, further deepening the divide within the family. And it is within this system that Charles has learned to operate, to prioritize duty over empathy, and to value image above all else. The question remains, can this cycle be broken, or will the rift between father and son continue to widen, leaving a legacy of unresolved pain and unspoken words?